Draculas. Winkee. It's the fate of a very small thing. Draculas. Winkee.
Dracula's Winkee.
Episode 3. Her name was Gretchen.
Gretchen!
It was a coffin built for one, but Dracula felt her for a brief moment, and it woke him from a slumber. She was his greatest happiness. She was his worst mistake. And she was the keeper of his Winkee. He thought of English alleyways, of their last days together. He felt his crippled heart beat once, and it hurt like a son-of-a-bitch. But he held on to it, for it was all she left him. He read through the graffiti etched on the inside of his coffin lid. You own my mortal soul, love Miley. Keep on truckin', Blackula, Turk 182. Then his tired eyes stopped. Not much to read compared to the others, but it meant everything to him. A heart, London 1893, and the initials GVS. He let his mind drift back in time. 1893, Thursday. Tensions were running high. The world was in an uproar because the United States Supreme Court legally declared the tomato to be a vegetable. It was a dangerous time, but Dracula soaked it all in. He was powerful. He was nightmare personified. He was truly the shit. Yes, enemies were everywhere. He knew he was being followed, but he knew they knew he knew that he knew. Yet he never detected her. She came out of the darkness, swift, silent, and sassy, striking a pose to cut off his escape route.
Bite me, Count.
Did you just say, bite me?
Yeah, that's what I said to you. Bite me, or taste the sting of my whip.
Wow, you're losing me. And I thought my accent was bad. Okay, I got the bite me. I'm going to need help on sting and whip before I agree to taste anything.
My whip. I want you to taste it if you do not taste me.
Dracula's eyes scanned over her body. She was amazing. Hourglass womanly curves, tight with healthy muscle. Her long black hair fell like a wild waterfall over her shoulders. Her cleavage begged for blatant stares from men, women, and livestock alike. The joy of being trapped between her breasts could only be equaled by that of a child inside his first inflatable bounce house. Dracula's gaze dropped to her hips. Her slender fingers were at the ready on a long coil of braided leather.
Oh, whip? You mean whip. I will taste the sting of your whip if I don't bite you.
The dangerous vixen rolled her eyes.
Spank mine ass and call me stupid, yeah. That's what I said to you yet again.
I find your accent so sexy. Are you from New Jersey?
Nein, I am German. My name's Gretchen. Gretchen Von Stroodlehymen.
The words melted from her full lips and echoed like the wind blowing in Paris Hilton's ear.
Well then, eager one, why so far from home? What brings you to England? Are you a hunter? Come to see if your skills are enough to bring down the Prince of Darkness? Who do you work for? The secret sisterhood of the divine traveling yayas?
I'm not aware of who they are.
The Van Helsing family hire you?
Nein.
He read her crystal blue eyes. Her heartbeat neither sped up nor slowed down.
Do you sell Amway?
She quickly tossed the sample soap and a rope into the darkness behind her.
That is not why I'm here, Count. I merely wanted to meet the legend. I have loved more than a few, Herr Dracula, but none has ever been able to satisfy my womanly needs. My heart, wet, Krotchenbauer remains waiting.
The vampire felt his saggy boy's kickstart within the confines of his pants. He tried to remember if he followed his mother's eternal advice and left the house tonight with clean underwear. Ever the good boy. Thank God he had.
And you would try to kill me if I don't make love to you?
Gretchen merely nodded. It made Dracula's Winkee scream for satisfaction like a Catholic grandmother whose winning number was being ignored by a bingo caller. He couldn't believe what was happening to him, to his loinage. After a dozen or more decades of simply grinding against women and letting his reputation drive them wild, how long had it been since he had ejaculatory satisfaction of his own? Well, the answer would be a dozen or more decades. I just said it.
So, what will it be, Count? Do we fight? Or do we do the tube schneck boogie?
Gretchen's girlish fingers slid down the plunging V of her one-piece Emma Peel-issued cat suit. She unzipped it to her delicate belly button, her firm breasts barely keeping the black leather from falling off her shoulders.
I can be naked in 2 moves, my dark lord.
Zwei? That's 3?
No, it's Vi.
She shook her shoulders and the outfit fell open to her waist. Dracula gasped. Her second move was a shimmy with a smooth hop that pushed the black garments past her ankles and she left them on the ground. Yet her leather boots remained on.
Your boots?
I enjoy sex from a running start. The boots give me better traction when I stomp.
Dracula had experienced an endless history full of goddesses, seductresses, and queens, but before him stood the most sexually attractive female the world had ever known. Her naked body was flawless in its perfection. Her freed breasts pimp-slapped gravity. Her sleek muscular thigh barely blocked visual access to her vertical hoo-ha cavern. But Dracula could tell her down there hair was trimmed into the shape of a hoppy bratwurst. Gretchen turned and confidently placed a hand on each hip, giving him a full frontal view of her naked nicitude. However, it was her piercing eyes, as blue as the lips of a choking victim near a clear summer day, that grabbed Dracula's own gaze. They were calling, tempting, begging, demanding her man to take her. Dracula searched for a flaw.
Ever fart in public?
I don't fart. I poot.
Damn it!
Dracula threw his arms in the air. She was perfect. There was a spastic stirring in the vampire's down-unders, the groan of blood flow long denied, a rush of urgent sexual expansion, and then an ear-shattering... The Winkee was awake.
Next time on Dracula's Winkee.
A meeting of Dracula's worst enemies. Do they know of his plans to escape to America? Brought to you by the Baba Yaga Steakhouse.
Baba Yaga.
Eat kids free. The Baba Yaga Steakhouse.
Baba Yaga.
Who you got a cookin'?